Good afternoon, friends, and welcome. I'll be sharing live trades and results with you. We'll be evaluating how well these trades work out. We'll be benchmarking this against the S&P 500. I'm expecting to be outperforming it every month. Along the way, I'll also be sharing some lessons I've learned about investments, trading, and building wealth. And of course, the mandatory disclaimer. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It should not be interpreted as advice. And with that, let's get into it. Let's start out with a little recap on trade number 12. We're going to talk about trade 13, but trade number 12 was the prior trade. Just as a reminder, we took an entry here and we decided to exit here. I do want to explain sort of one oddity, which is right in here. What happened here? What happened is I did adjust the amount of shares. I actually just sold off one share the next day, kind of early in the day. And that's what's causing this little blue line indicator, because normally this blue line tracks the profitability of the trade. So I mentioned it was a very profitable trade last time, and we ended up taking our exit right, let me draw that a little bit better, right on this day. I also mentioned that the next day, for whatever reason, these lines tend to extend the next day, but this was the actual day we exited at the close. And what we're trying to have happen is some kind of a drawdown or pullback at the close the next day. That's what we're looking for. Unfortunately, we didn't quite get that. We had actually a little bit of a rise in price, not much, but just a little bit. And toward the end of the day, we went ahead and re-entered the market. One thing I do also want to note is we're going to watch that trade live. You're going to see the order go in. This particular trade, I've mentioned this before, these are aftermarket orders. They're limit orders. And as you're watching this trade here, you'll notice that it's not filling immediately. Sometimes these trades can fill within seconds. Sometimes it takes minutes or 10 minutes. And we just decided whether we're going to hold that price or not. In this case, we're holding the price. We're letting it fill. We've also talked about how they partially fill. Some of the shares will fill and the rest remain outstanding. And it just takes a little bit of time to fill the trade. But in this particular order, you can see that it's taking a significant amount of time. We're going to go ahead and wait it out. And that order is now filled. So what we're going to be looking for is what's going to happen the next day. We don't know. If the market goes up, that's great news. If it goes down, that's bad news. We'll have to make that decision, and we're going to see what happens next. All right, on the next day, what we saw is a slight gap down, but the market did come back a little bit. You can see we're up just a little bit, 0.2%, a little bit of profit here on the shares. And what we're going to do is actually take an exit right at the end of the day here. The market's not moving much. It had a really good run up. As you saw in our prior trade, we went ahead and exited. Now we're entered in the day before. And on today's day, there's so little movement. Adam has decided that he's going to make an executive decision, and he's going to take an exit here. We can watch that trade live now. You can see the order go in and will be filled. And what we're hoping for is again, same thing as we were hoping sort of on this day, is some sort of a pullback where we can enter in and get an even better price than we have here. So we'll take the exit, we'll scalp a little profit, and let's head over to our tracking sheet and see how we're doing year to date. All right, on trade number 13, as I mentioned, there wasn't a lot of action. We picked up another 0.22%. A little small increment. The S&P went from 411 to 412, just under $1 there. That brings the S&P year to date to 7.9%. We picked up a little bit more, moving us up to 9.74%. Brings us to, we just picked up a little bit, 1.84% year to date. So you can see our numbers here year to date. We are outpacing the S&P 500. I'm going to guess that, since we're so close, if we take any kind of losses, we're going to be fluctuating quite a bit in here. But as of April 24th, we're leading the market by just under 2%. That's good news. And you can see our year-to-date numbers over here for the last 3 years, how we're tracking. So far, we're doing okay. We'd like to see this this delta be a little bit bigger than it is right now. But for now, we'll have to see how we're doing. We'll have to see how we do on our next trade. And again, we took an entry here, and the anticipation is at some point there's going to be some drop in the market where we'll re-enter. Hopefully, we'll be out while the S&P is falling. We'll enter back in and see if we can pick up some more gains. That's it for today. How do you think we're doing? Please comment below and let me know how this compares to other investments you've seen. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only and should not be taken or interpreted as advice. Until next time.